I think that really sheds light on the importance of stories and not only stories but fiction. You
Hmm.
know, what does it matter if something is nonfiction or fiction if it's a means for the author to present truths to the reader? You
Right.
know, that story is then just a vessel. You specifically touch on if I'm gonna go back here, and this is just kind of interesting as well, because I know, and this may ruffle some potential feathers, but I do want to bring up this point. Uh, Page 280, you say, we should not be concerned whether the Christian story is scientifically accurate in all its details. We should be concerned with whether the story conveys truth and how effectively it does so. And I'm bringing that up because, of course, the Bible is the most influential book in human history. And you have many people that are completely, I don't want to say the word obsessed, but I'll use the word meticulous. They are meticulous in breaking down the Bible analytically and intellectually to find out where the meat and potatoes is, as opposed to somebody that reads it and they might read it as just like you said, like a story, and still gain the truth and the wisdom held within. Um, we identify this book as historically accurate. And so that then provides academics to come in and open it up and really kind of uh, I guess, analyze it and put a real fine-tooth comb on there. You're not seeing that necessarily with the Lord of the Rings. Oh, well, okay, actually you are. A lot of
Hmm.
people do analyze that book, and a lot of, I think they teach classes on it. But let's say something like Harry Potter or something, right? Like there's a reason why that book is also influential. And I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying that there's something within that book that resonates with the reader. And of course, it's fiction, so you're not having people meticulously analyze it. But again, there's incredible truths held within the Bible, but it is identified as being that historically accurate piece of work. Do you think that that's really necessary, or do you think that the real gist and the meat and potatoes of the Bible are the truths held within?
Yeah, I think that the purpose of the Bible is to convey a spirit, to convey an attitude, a posture of the heart. That I think is the core mission purpose of the Bible. Um, and I think that is totally accomplishable without um, viewing it as mainly historical. I do my view on this has changed a little bit since I wrote it. I think at the time I wrote it, I would have been the way I wrote it very much was sort of all the way on that liberal spectrum of saying, it could all be fiction, quote unquote fiction, and it would still be, just as Christian, just as good. I think that there is a there is a need for some things to be um, historical, even in the modern sense of like because the point of the spirit is that it has connected with and suffused concrete material reality. So if you say that certain key elements are not historically true, then you're saying that the spirit is only ethereal and mental, but doesn't actually concretely manifest. So, I could see people argue either way a little bit more on that, but I do think that, I mean, it says straightforwardly from Paul, if Christ did not rise, then the faith is in vain. So to claim that, well, Christ rising is just a allegory. I think that does diminish the reality of Christianity quite substantially. Whereas when you view it as a historical claim, you're not saying, I believe that historical scholars have proven this, and it's a definite historical fact that any whatever PhD has to recognize. Not on that sense of historical, but you're saying, I believe that material reality, our physical bodies are actually moment to moment subject to the infinite power of God, and they are within that the actual domain of his rule. So that while I have never seen it before me on, I haven't seen a dead person get up out of the grave after being 3 days dead, but I believe that the infinity of life uh, conquers everything, is supreme above all. So uh, there's a quote from Yogananda that I like that says something like, when you've seen the glory of God, it will not surprise you that a corpse could get up and walk," something like that.
Hmm. Yeah. I completely agree. There's that concrete manifestation that presents itself in reality that, it's like the word of God, the Bible is that anchor. It is that reflector, just like truth, because it is truth. So